Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar. I am really excited to be here with you guys and share with you the 12 steps to really create flow in your life and business. And the good news, guys, is that I have two amazing guest experts to share their insights as well in terms of the subject. So make sure you introduce yourselves, say who you are. I can see you guys here. Go to the chat box and say hello. Let us know where you guys are joining us from. And before I get into the 12 steps and share with you specific steps and how you, again, can create this flow, I want to share with you a little bit about me because many of you guys are new to me. So basically, Stephanie, hello. I started my business, it's 2.5 years now that I started my business. And when I started my coaching business, I was scared, guys. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I felt blocked. I was working in a full-time job making less than $1,200, which I don't know how I did that. And I just didn't know. I felt stuck. You know, for me, my biggest thing was I knew inside of me I wanted to make a big difference in the world, and I knew I had it in me to do that. But the issue, right, with me, my challenge when I started was I had no idea how to do it. I knew I wanted a business. I knew I wanted to make a difference, but I had no idea how to do that. And in that, not knowing, I really believe everything happens for a reason. You know, I was guided to the coach I needed to work with. I was guided to the right mentorship, and slowly, I was able, you know, I think everything like led my way, and I'm here where I am. And long story short, when I decided to start my business and build it, literally in my second month of business, actually second month of hiring actually here on the call today, she's going to be sharing a little bit of insight around the subject. My second month of working with her, I made my first $5,000 in my business. And guys, I was not making that much money. I had never made $5,000 in my life before, right? I was making less than $1,200 a month, right? So for me, making that much money was like shocking and was like, oh my God. Working with that, working with all the things I'm going to be sharing with you today, the fourth month, I made my first 12K, and that really blew my mind. My first year of business, I was able to make my first six figures, you know, my first $100,000. And it's been growing, thank God, since then. You know, again, now I'm here, it's 2.5 years later, and the business grows. We have a growing team. I work with women from all over the world, you know, Panama, Colombia, Mexico, the United States, Canada, Australia, the UK, and many more. Like I even have clients from Pakistan, India. Like it's so amazing the way this business, you know, you can create something, create freedom from something, doing what you love, and really reaching and helping women and people from all over the world. And the reason I share with you guys my story, because many of you might be feeling, I won't flow. You know, there's a reason. I really believe there's no coincidence. You know, if you guys are here and have found me or have been drawn to me or have been called from however to join this webinar, you know, I truly believe there's a reason. You know, maybe you're looking for some flow. Maybe you're looking to really build that business and leave your job, be able to travel, do all these things. And let me tell you something, it's possible. Because in my first year of business, not only did I make the money, in my fourth month when I made the 12K, I left my job, which is like in June. I left my job and literally started traveling the world. I literally traveled like so many places. I went to Australia, Bali, I was in Paris, Madrid, London. Where did I not go? Like the United States, various cities in the United States, Miami, all these places. And I think the biggest piece for me, and I was living all over. So it was not like I was visiting places. Rather, I was like going to Paris and staying there for a month. I was going to LA and staying there for 3 months. Because that was my dream. You know, I was stuck in the job, right? And I had a situation in which I couldn't really like just leave and go and travel. So yeah, and it was possible for me. You know, today I'm based now in Panama. I still travel. I have a growing team. And again, I share this with you because it's possible. And with the 12 steps, guys, that I'm going to be sharing and teaching you today, and from the insights you guys are going to get from the guest experts today who are amazing. These women are rock stars in their industries. They're rocking it. And I'm going to be introducing you a little bit about them, and you guys are going to be hearing from them. You guys will be able to do it. You know, whatever reason you came here for. You know, if it's to make more money, if it's to build your business, or, you know, just to get a little bit of more money power, money flow, whatever it is. Trust me, like you are going to get it, especially if you're looking to like break free and build that. You know, really build a business that is in true alignment with who you are and really live that. passion of yours, right? So in these 12 steps, I'm going to be teaching you that. So I highly recommend, if you're watching this live or the recording, doesn't matter, take notes. You know, I highly recommend have a piece of paper, take some notes, have your pen with you, and I really recommend as well having no distractions, meaning put your phone somewhere else, close your browsers if you can, and there's a reason for that. Because the more like connected you are here, and the more present you are with us, guess what? You are going to get the best benefit. Because yes, guess what? We're going to be giving a lot of content. We're going to give you steps. The guest experts have some awesome nuggets of gold to share with you and advice to give you. But just being here with us, with the energy, you know, it's like 3 powerhouses here in this webinar is going to be just shifting, life-changing for you. Because I've noticed that, you know, you can know what to do, you can have a strategy in place in all of it, but it really starts here. It really starts with the mind and in the energy. So just being here, I really recommend you stay with us and be present, okay? So, and before I begin sharing with you these steps and calling in the amazing experts I have lined up for you guys today, let's set an intention. You know, I'm a big believer in intention. You know, the reason I started doing this more in my webinars was because in my coach's webinar, you know, one of my coaches, I was in her webinar before I started working with her. In her webinar, she said we should set an intention, and I was like, okay, and I set an intention, and my intention in her webinar was to have a financial breakthrough. I didn't share that with her or anything, but I was like, that's my intention. After the webinar was over, you know, normal, I finished it, I went to my email and I saw that $1,500 had come in that I had not expected, and I was like, I had a financial breakthrough, and I'm a big believer in intentions, like it works. So, and I think something magical really happens when we're in this format, like in this live setting. Again, if you're listening to the replay, it's equally as powerful. All of us together, there's something really powerful when we're here together. So let's take advantage of that energy, guys. Let's take advantage of that mastermind, the energy here, and really set the intention so we can achieve that, okay? And hello, Samantha, Meredith, Quay. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Lay. All of you other guys, make sure you say hi. I want to see you guys. And there's going to be a chance for you guys as well to ask questions at the end. So know that too. If you have any questions, or for me or the guest experts, you can do so. Just make sure you post it and you write it in the chat box. So let's set our intentions, guys. Let's close our eyes and let's just take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's inhale once more and exhale. Inhale once more. Exhale. Eyes closed and set your intention in your mind. Whatever breakthrough you're looking for, whatever miracle you're looking for. Maybe there's a specific situation going on that you want like some guidance on. Whatever it is for you, set that intention. And with that, take another deep breath in. And exhale. Beautiful. So shall we begin? Let's get started, guys. So beautiful. So guys, step number one to really build a business that creates money flow. And again, I want to define what really money flow means, because many people have defined it in different ways. For me, and the way when I say money flow, what I really mean by that is having cash flow. Yes, having the money coming in for all that you need, having the resources, the money resources, like time, all the energy resources that you need to fulfill your purpose in this life. That's what I believe money flow is. And having everything in flow, not having to stress, feeling good. That's the end result of being in the flow, right? I honestly believe that. Being in intention flowing, being like connected and really feeling good. That's really, really what it is. So when you're creating a business, and I'm going to be sharing with you and teaching you how to do that, with that in mind, with the money flow in mind, you're creating a business that you love, that is your true passion, that you wake up every day and you're excited for it. That's the whole idea of it. Lay, okay, got it. Awesome, great. So let's get started, guys. Take notes on this too, okay? So step number one, which is so important, you got to understand money. You cannot build a business and make money and have a cash flow if you do not understand money, what it is, where it comes from, all of these things. Why? Because we got to know what it is, right? If we want to make something, we got to know what it is. So that's basically why that's the first step, basically, right? The second step in building a business that creates flow is getting clear on who your ideal client is, who your target market is. You know, so many times we are putting ourselves out there and then we don't know as business owners who we want to help or what problem we're trying to solve, right? Or who is that particular person that we're trying to, you know, make a difference in the world and stuff like that. So that's the step number 2, really getting clear on your ideal and your target market. Step number 3 is clearing your money blocks. And this is the biggest piece of it, because if you do not take the time to clear your money blocks, you can stay in the same place. And this is where I see many people, many new coaches, many new business owners get stuck. Why? So let me explain what money blocks is. Money blocks basically is anything that's holding you back from making money. It could be a trauma, a fear, a limiting belief, which is usually the main ones, a negative emotion holding you back, like this weird programming around money, all these things that hold you back from making money, from having the resources you need to fulfill your purpose. That is what I like to call a money block. And we got to clear these, because these are in our mind, you know, they're here. You know, when I started my business, I had this block that I had to work really hard to make money. And maybe you guys here could relate with that, and maybe you guys feel that. And you know, really this came growing up because I saw my dad work really hard. He made a lot of money, you know? He made a lot of money, millions of dollars, but guess what? He worked a lot. So having that growing up, I believed, you know, I grew up believing, and it's a limiting belief, right? It was a limiting belief I had, that I had to work really hard if I wanted to make $1 million or make that type of money. And when I started like working that and really clearing that, you know, the specific techniques that I use and teach my clients to clear these things from our minds, because once we clear them and we reprogram it with something positive, we're able to create that, right? Because again, we create our reality. For those of you who are very familiar with law of attraction and all of that, we're creating our reality all the time. So step number 3, clearing your money blocks, is so crucial and so important, because it's really all here. And you know, I've seen so many times how we stop. You know, I've seen people have the perfect strategy, have, you know, the know-how, how to do the business, and how to do everything, but they themselves are sabotaging themselves. You know, I've done a lot of research on this, and almost every woman I speak to, when I ask them what holds you back or what you feel holds you back, all of them have said to me, I think like 98%, and I have like a list of these people who've said that, they tell me themselves that they are the ones sabotaging the money, their flow, their business, that they themselves. And it usually is the mind, you know, it's usually these blocks, these money blocks. And our guest expert today, actually, Courtney, is amazing at this. You know, I actually had the pleasure of working with her. She worked with me, actually, it was last year, Courtney, right? Courtney, if you want, you can unmute yourself. And we really helped her like uncover her blocks and clear them. And this woman, like, she's going to share with you what happened after, because she was making, I think, less than, what, 5K a month? And she was like wanting to break through her 10K, and or were you making 10K? Well, Courtney will share her story.
No,
Courtney
I was at like 3K.
3K. And she's going to share with you what she's making now and what's happening now with her. And she's also going to share with you some awesome advices in this, because what she does now, guys, she helps women from all over the world turn their passion to money-making machines. And I've seen her do it with her own life, which has been a beautiful like experience, and just seeing that. So Courtney, share your story. I think just share how you were able to overcome, you know, your blocks, and how you help other women do so as well.
Thank you, Sharina. First of all, you know, I'm like really excited to be here, and you know, I'm in the middle of a move, so I'm gonna get into that in a second too, because that all comes down to your mindset and like you're allowing money to flow in. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, when I worked with you, I had all my strategies in place, all my systems in place, and all these things that were supposed to be working. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I was also missing a really big piece, which was knowing why I was actually afraid of money and thinking that money was going to leave me at all times. And so when I was thinking money was going to leave me, when I was going through all these things back and forth, this and that, I was just so scared that if I made more money, then more money was going to leave. So every time I made money, I would go through it immediately. Immediately it would be gone. So when the money did start coming in, I couldn't break $3,000. And when I made $3,000, it would go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It was when I worked with you, I realized that money is an inanimate object. Like I couldn't love money, I couldn't hate money. I just had to trust that money would always come back to me. And when I actually acknowledged the fact that I had these blocks, all of a sudden money started coming in. And now I've gone from $3,000 to $10,000 to $30,000 months, and it's because of the things that I have going on. So
amazing. Oh, I think we lost her. Uh-oh, I guess she'll be back soon, but she's going to continue her story. I'll bring her back on when she gets back, but it's just amazing to see her transformation. And today she's helping women from all over the world, again, do that. And it's, well, she'll share more. I'll wait for her to get back, but it's just amazing. And it's really, guys, here. You know, so many times we tend to start the other way around, but we really need to start with our mind first. We got to clear that, which is why, guys, this is step number 3. It's one of the first steps for a reason. Because if we don't do this and we start to build a business, we try to sell, which is the following steps I'm going to share with you, it can really sabotage ourselves. And with my clients now, I make it like a priority that we spend a lot of time clearing the stuff and working their minds. Because I've seen, like Courtney working, you know, helping her, I've noticed how working that mind of hers, she went from 3 to 10. Like, I think this year she's on her way to multiple 6 figures, like almost reaching 7 figures, like the way she has things planned out. And it's like a year ago when we worked together, she would have never believed it's possible, right? So, although Courtney is a dreamer, she is just so amazing. So yes, I'll wait for her to get back, and I'm going to continue meanwhile. Step number 4 is building a community. You know, so many times we're building a product, we're building a package, and we have no one to sell it to. You know, I hear a lot of people tell me, oh, but no one's buying it. And I'm like, okay, do you have a group of people? Do you have an email list? Do you have a Facebook of people who are interested, right, in what you're offering? And they're like, no. It can be really hard to sell something if you don't do the step first, which is why this step is one of the first ones. You've got to build a community. You know, step number 2, when you get a little bit specific and clear on who your target market is, I highly recommend after that to build a community around that person. So if you know that you want to work with people who wants to lose weight, build a community around that. You know, build a Facebook group around that, build an email list around that, build a community, like build that, because those are the people who will then tell you what they want, what's their issue, what's their problem, what's their pain, so you can help them, right? So you can, because at the end of the day, you guys will see, like, money is energy. And money, honestly, is like a byproduct. When you solve enough people's problems, when you are helping people, giving value, and you're really creating a difference, money flows. So sometimes the easiest, if there's anything, guys, you get out of this webinar, is that if you can help enough people solve a problem and solve an issue, there's no way you will not have money flow. Right? So getting clear on your target market in step number 2 and building this community, you're getting to know more these people. What's their issue? What's going on with them? So you can then create something that will truly, truly benefit and help them. And step number 5 is learning how to create and manifest money. You know, so many times we're building businesses and we have no idea how to create money. We have no idea how to manifest money. We have no idea all of these things. And honestly, you know, nowadays, if you build a business, there's certain things you actually need to get started. You know, I highly recommend, you know, getting yourself a coach, getting yourself a mentor, being in an environment, a mastermind that supports your growth. You know, there's some certain tools you'll be needing there and go. Like, there's some things that need money. So you've got to know how to manifest and create this. And when you know how to do that, because the rules are simple, right? Because once you know how to do that, you'll be able to do that in your business and make money in your business. Because, like, in the beginning for me, I noticed, like, in my beginning journey, like my first, I could say, like 7-8 months, I honestly was manifesting money because I had no email list, guys. I think I had like 4 people on my email list. I had no website when I made my 12K. Like, I didn't have a website, a lead-in, opt-in page, like all those things that they say you gotta have, which I agree you gotta have. I have all of it now. But I've noticed that you can manifest the money, and knowing how to do that it just makes it so much easier. You gotta know how to create that, which is so crucial. And that leads me, guys, to step number 6, which is creating a package, a product that will actually sell. You know, something that people actually want. Because so many times, again, as I was saying before, we're building stuff and we're not really checking if people really want it, right? So when it comes to step number 6, which is creating a package of your, it also depends, right? What you're doing, what you're selling, what you're trying to, if you're selling a service, if you're selling a product, whatever it is that you're trying to sell, really building it in such a way that people actually want it. And building it in such a way, creating that in such a way that it's going to solve people's problems. Again, if you are able to solve many, many, many people's problems, you're going to be making a lot of money. You're going to be having a lot of money flow. It's so simple. Like, it's so simple. And again, I know I'm repeating this again and again. Why? Because I want you to really get it. Like, I wish someone would have been like repeating me that every single day, every single moment, so I could have got it. Because it's when you focus on that. And you know, so many times we're focusing on getting the clients, selling the programs, which is all part of it. But when we focus on making a difference in someone's lives, law of compensation, it does come back. It does come back. And step number 7, guys, is reprogramming your money mindset, right? Because we talked about clearing the blocks. But step number 7 is really reprogramming yourself to a positive money mindset. Because once we clear our blocks, we got to get you to believe that you can, you know, have fun and make money, that you can make money while you're sleeping, that, you know, you can be in flow with money in your business and life, even when you're studying, like, and all of these things, because I think it's so important. This is why this is step number 7. And guys, I want to invite my next guest expert here to speak about the things that we've been speaking today, because like by now, and this person, her name is Jenny Teo. She is amazing. She is actually my first coach. Right? I mentioned to you guys the coach who I got, who I then made 5K and then 12K, who led me to 6 figures. She's the one, guys, who helped me do that. She is brilliant in what she does. And what I love and admire of her, because when we started working together, like, she was studying full time. You know, she was studying full time in university, and she was making $10,000-$15,000 a month in her business. And I was like, and she was like, what, 21 or 22 at the time? And now, being young, I was like, oh my God, I need to work with her. And she's brilliant, and that's the reason I have her today, guys, because I want you to learn from the best. So, Jenny, if you don't mind unmuting your mic here.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Yes, Jenny. So share with us what's helped you get into flow with money in your business and your life. Like, what's helped you, like, any mindset shifts that have helped you specifically get into the flow with your business?
Yeah, I would say like the biggest piece for me was getting into alignment, which is, you know, a big piece of what I do with my clients. You know, you definitely know from our work together, it's all about alignment and feeling, you know, 100% right in alignment with your goals. So whatever the goals are, I felt like in the beginning I was setting quite big goals for myself because I saw everyone else doing it, so maybe a bit of competition or comparison there, but it wasn't my true desire, so it wasn't aligned. And also basically when I say alignment, it's also working on anything that could be an opposing force. So like you covered beautifully before, you know, any mindset that was opposing my goals, you know, that means that it was keeping me from being 100% aligned with my business goals or even my life goals, any thoughts and beliefs, and even, you know, I think it's so important before taking massive action, because right, if you don't have those things in place, if you're not aligned, you're just, you know, you're not going to attract, or people are going to, like, you know, show up and then not show up. You get, like, you know, all kinds of things happening around you. And I think, yes, and also I wanted to talk about like packages, because you were asking me about that before we connected, and I love what you say. And also I wanted to add, because this is such a huge piece, I'm sure like for people listening as well, that packages, I find, has 2 parts to it. So one is about, right, like creating value and creating something that you help people with. I've been writing a lot of notes down here as well. Like, so if, you know, helping people solve issues and problems. And the second piece is pricing, right? So I find like a lot of people, or most of the clients that I see not having the money flow that they desire, it's because they are not aligned with their pricing. So, and I know you help your clients with this, so also, you know, really highlighting the importance of aligning to the frequency of your programs and your services, and then charging where your frequency is at. So not undercharging, or you know, or not overcharging. I know, like in my journey at the very beginning, I was charging so little, like peanuts. And I thought lots of people would be signing up, right? Because it was like $50 a session or something like that. And now today, right, like today my packages were like $5,000 to start. And I was undercharging, and there was nobody, like there were crickets and nobody signing up. Or some people, actually most people see it this way as they get burnt out, fatigued, resentful, drained after sessions. I definitely have been there before, and that's also a sign that you're not charging where your frequency is at. And then, of course, overcharging means, you know, like you're not aligned with that frequency as well, and that means, you know, you get less people signing up, or you're feeling like you need to overwork to prove yourself, right? Like to prove that they signed up for something that is valuable. And I find, like, you know, if you're doing that, that could be a mindset piece, or that could be a price. You know, you've got to align with your new pricing kind of piece. So I would say, so I would say those two things. So alignment has been such a big thing for me personally. Aligning with my goals, making sure like all of me is on board with whatever I'm going for. Mindset, you know, every piece in my business, packages, services I'm offering, and then really feeling into like something that's, you know, a frequency that's easy and exciting at the same time. So when pricing packages, make sure, you know, it feels easy to charge that, and expensive, but also really exciting. So I would say like that's kind of one of the tips that I wanted to share today.
I love it. And Janine, I love that you shared about the like overwhelmed piece, because so many times we're feeling overwhelmed, we're not getting the right clients, and you said it brilliantly. That might be because you yourself are not aligning what you're doing and selling.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's so powerful, because it's true. Like, and it's happened to me, right? So I had like a aha moment there, because it's happened to me, and it makes sense. It makes total sense.
Yes. Yep, I love that. Yeah, so if you feel overwhelmed, then, you know, it's again like going back to these 12 steps that you're going to be that you are sharing, that all right, one of these pieces are out of alignment. So which piece is it, and making sure you get that back into alignment. And when everything's on board, I mean we've all been there as well, right? Like when everything is on board, everything is aligned, it just flows. Like the clients just show up, they manifest, people want to work with you, they sign up easily, they register easily, they pay easily, and you know, your business is just flowing, you're just, you know, everything is going really well. And I think like that's, for me, is the biggest piece that I learned through, you know, like the last 5 years, that you want to be 100% aligned with your work. And personally for me, it's been through coaching. Like I learned a lot of that through like having a coach help me align on a weekly basis, and also through you know, other pieces as well, like you know, your own self-care, your own mindset practice, things like that.
That's so powerful. Amazing. And Jenny, share a little bit about your story, your journey, and what you do right now.
Yes, so my story started with, I would say, like I definitely started with, I always knew what I wanted to do, so I was really clear that I wanted to be an animal doctor, because I love animals. And then one day I went to a factory farm, and I decided, oh my gosh, this is, you know, this is not in alignment with me. Like this industry just feels a bit heartbreaking. So it started that way, where I decided to do something totally unconventional, and you know, very surprising for a lot of people around me, which was to start my own business, be a coach, and create my own personal brand. So I would say like that's where I started. So I had to work through a lot of mindset pieces. I had to reclaim a lot of personal responsibility. So one of the mindset shifts that I had to kind of receive from my experience was, it's nobody's responsibility for, you know, but my own. So I have to stop blaming my parents, my society, my culture, my upbringing, if I, you know, for anything that happens. So really taking personal responsibility for my own success. So it was nobody's, you know, I was like, you know, nobody owes me anything, and nobody's fault if I don't succeed but my own. So really having to go through that. And yeah, so working through a lot of pieces in business. And today I help my clients with that. I help a lot of clients with their mindset and helping them, really step into personal empowerment. And that means, claiming your own responsibility, knowing how powerful you are, knowing that you can create the success that you desire, right? If someone else can do it, that means you can too. Not, not being triggered into jealousy, but actually being triggered into inspiration of what is possible, like thanking someone for showing you, thank you for showing, what is possible for me. That's definitely some mindset shift that I had to take as well. And also living life on their own terms. So today I help a lot of new coaches, creative entrepreneurs, to start their own businesses, create a business that supports their lifestyle, supports them living life in a way that they love and that is aligned to them, and also helping new entrepreneurs succeed. So that's what I do. I'm a business coach to mostly new coaches and new entrepreneurs.
I love it. I love it. And Jenny, I think it's so powerful what you said about being you and about really the alignment piece, because at the end of the day the flow is the alignment that really sticks to me. So I just wanted to again and you were my first coach, so it's just so powerful because I remember with you I was like, wow, she's 21, she's studying full time, she's making 10K or 15K. You were celebrating a 15K week or something like that. And I was like, triggered, I was really triggered, but I was like, no. Jenny shows me what's possible, right? And today I'm doing that. But if it weren't for you showing me what's possible, I don't think I would have been able to do that. So it's amazing. So those of you listening, hearing her story, hearing Courtney's story, hearing my story, being like, oh my God, don't let it trigger you. That's the mindset piece. Let it inspire you. We three are showing you what's possible for you. You can go make 10K, 20, 30K like Courtney. You can go and make 15K weeks. You can go make a 6-figure year. This is all possible for you. So awesome. Jenny, if people want to find you and get to know you more and get to know your stuff, where can they go?
Yes, and I want to add on to that. In fact, we support that, and I actually love when people go and create that. So, we actually want you to go create success, and we want you to succeed, and we want you to create, a life that you love, that is full of, money, if that's what you want, abundance, freedom. That's what we desire for you. So we're totally on board. We're totally supporting you here. And people can find me on my website, jianiteo.com, JIANITEO.com. And you can sign up for the mailing list, and I share, weekly, behind the scenes exclusive tips that I don't share anywhere else. And, you can follow me on social media as well, which is on my website. So thank you.
Gorgeous, Jenny. Awesome. Make sure, Jenny, you put your website in the chat box so everyone can see the link.
Perfect. I will.
It'll be easier. You're welcome, Jenny. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think that was really powerful. So thank you so much for being here. Awesome. Guys, didn't you guys love Jenny? Isn't she amazing? So guys, there's the link. Thank you. And guys, if you have any questions, right, at the end of the webinar, for me, for Courtney, for Jenny, if we're here, we're going to be happy to answer any questions you have too. So amazing. I loved it. So just summarizing, I'm going to summarize the 7 steps that we've spoken about so far. Number 1 was understanding money. Number 2, getting clear on your target market. Number 3, clearing your money blocks. Number 4, building a community. Number 5, learning how to create and manage money. Number 6, creating compelling packages. And number 7, reprogramming your money mindset to positive, a positive money mindset. A mindset that will really help you make whatever you want to make, help you be in the flow. You've got to make sure you're programmed to it, right? And step number 8, guys, is very important too. It's learning to market yourself. Because so many times, depending what you're selling, again, right? Depending what business you want to create. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're a coach. Maybe it's a service. Usually when it comes to service product, I think we live in a world where we got to know how to market it. We got to know how to market ourselves with it, because so many times people buy the products we sell and they trust us. So we got to make sure we know how to market ourselves. So that's really, really important. That's step number 8. Thank you. So guys, I think Courtney's back on. Courtney, if you don't mind unmuting yourself so you can continue sharing your awesome story for everyone. Let's see. There you go.
Yes, I'm back on. I apologize about the disconnection. You can see me? Okay, good. Good.
Yes, okay, so we can see you here. Tell me, you were saying.
okay, so I was saying before I worked with you and before I realized like it was money, that I was actually afraid it was going to leave, and then every time I would make it, it would be gone the next day, because that was like the habit and the thing that I was used to, and the habit that I was used to forming was that money was always going to be gone. Money was always going to be gone. I didn't even realize I had those money blocks. And like it was so crucial to even me having any kind of success, because I knew I had the skill set. I was like what you ladies talked about, like you wanted to make other people feel better, and you wanted to get them to see what they were capable of. And then you actually showed me that you have the ability to control whether money is coming in or going out based on your mindset. Because if you keep telling yourself, okay, well, the money's going to be gone, like I can never make any money, that a lot of my clients that aren't making money, it's not because they lack the skill set, it's because they don't think they can do it. They already have that self-doubt in their minds. And it's kind of like, okay, let's back up. Let's get away from the strategy, because if you have the strategy, that's great. But when you're already setting yourself up like, oh, I know I'm not going to make the money, and like, I guess I'll try this. And I know that I always say you can't try in business, you just do. And don't try to fix your money habits, just work on them. And with my blocks, it was once I broke those blocks, and once we figured out what my blocks were, where they were coming from, I figured out my money story, and I really worked on those blocks. And me and you also worked on my mantras, where I would say, whenever I have a doubt about money, money comes easily to me at all times. And that whenever I have a doubt, that is what I go to all the time. So that is where that's where my blocks came in. And when I finally let go of the blocks, the money came in. So that's a little bit about it. But when I said that I'm moving, I'm in the middle of a move, it's crazy, because a year ago I couldn't pay my bills, and now I'm moving to New Jersey, which people would think I was crazy moving to one of the most expensive states in the country. But that's what I'm able to do, all because I changed my mindset on money. So when people are telling me that I'm moving somewhere expensive, like, I don't even have those blocks. They think it's expensive because that's their money story, and those are the blocks they have in their minds. And I know that nothing's too expensive for me. Nothing is beyond what I deserve, because my blocks, that's why I said it all correlated together.
Totally. Okay, I think you got jammed there. There you are. Okay. So there you are. So you're saying they're correlating they all correlate together, like all of it.
Right. Because if you want to live a better life, if you want to live where money is, you're making money, you have to deal with your blocks. Because everybody has some kind of block, even if it's just making more money. Like if you want to go from 30K to 50K, you still have to have those blocks. It's like, why are you not worth more? Or why do you have like these big spurts of money where you make a big month and then you have 2 months that you do nothing? You still have your money mindset. It's the same thing. You just have to kill those blocks. And if you don't kill the block, it'll just keep holding you back.
Totally. And Courtney, tell me something. What do you feel like really helped you be in the flow, in the sense of like, because I remember making less than 3K and then suddenly 10 and 20, and now you're like on your way to 7 figures and stuff, and like multiple 6 figures. So like, what do you feel really did that shift? Like, what for you was that, oh my God, of course I'm worth it. Of course I can do it. Of course I'm gonna rock it. And like, for you, what was that piece that you feel really shifted for you?
I think the first thing was actually realizing I had the money blocks, because I would tell you like, no, I know that I can make money, but that was like the Courtney that was in school saying, oh no, I know the homework. Like I knew I could make the money, but I didn't really actually believe I could make the money. And so that was there. And the other thing is, when I retrained my subconscious with the tapping, like the tapping works. I still do tapping every day. Like tapping
I love it.
will change. I do tapping so much that my stepson was like, he was like sitting around doing this, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm just tapping. I'm ready to get to my next level. So it's like actually practicing what you preach. But that was really like the big, wow, I really do need to take control of this. And once it clicked, it was like, why can't I have money? I can always have money. Money doesn't hate me. Money doesn't love me. Money just is. And that's really what did it.
I love it. I love it. Courtney, tell us what you do today. Like, I know you help a lot of women do that, like create money-making machines and really get them going. Tell us a little bit about what you are currently doing.
So what I'm currently doing is, when you're talking about traveling the world, I have sold out all of my one-to-one programs. I've done that 3 times that I've been sold out, and I've kind of left one-to-one alone, because I want to help more people in a shorter period of time, instead of just having instead of just having one person that I could help, right? So right now what I'm currently doing is I'm working on live events, being able to meet people all over the world, going wherever I want to go. I'm going to be in Canada in a week from tomorrow. I'll be in Canada. I'm planning on going to Paris. I'm planning on going to Bali. I'm planning on going to Costa Rica, and just actually bringing in that live event factor so that I can actually exchange the energy and teach women how to lose the expensive hobbies, because that's what I call it. Because I think a lot of women have these expensive hobbies, but you got to turn them into that money-making machine, because if you have an expensive hobby, it's not a business. So that's what I'm doing with my clients right now.
I love it. I love it. And if you go to Costa Rica, by the way, Courtney, Costa Rica is like an hour away from Panama. You have to visit me.
So we can make it happen.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
It's done. It's happening. I was like,
wait,
you're going to Costa Rica? I didn't know that. But if you do, let me know. It would be cool. I could meet you there, or you could come here. And guys, this is the cool thing about doing this, like building the business, having the full, like you can have awesome friends from all over the world. Like last year, I was in Sydney, and I was like, Jenny, let's go for lunch. And we were like having lunch in Sydney. You know, remember that, Jenny? And like with Courtney, it's like, yeah, let's meet up in Costa Rica. Like and before, I think I would have been like, Costa Rica, we got to plan it a few years. And like, I'm sure Courtney will tell me a week before, and we'll be like, because these are the things that happens. Like, we believe it, and you know, we open ourselves to it, and it's so cool and so powerful. Courtney, amazing. Tell us, Courtney, for the people who want to learn more about you and have your support and help, where can they go find you?
So they can find me on my website, which is coachedbycourtney.com. And then, of course, I have a Facebook group as well that I think you're a member of, which is Lady Boss Lifestyle, and I'm very active in my Facebook group. But if you want to see my updates, if you go to Lady Boss Lifestyle or you find me on Snapchat, that's where you can find me. My website, if you want to sign up for the mailing list, I have different information on there, but I always have new stuff coming out. So if you just follow me on social media, I promise you will not be disappointed. So anybody can follow me on social media if they want to.
I love it. I was going to tell you to put the website in, but Kiana just put it, coachedbycourtney.com. Awesome, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Courtney. So amazing to hear your story. Thank you again for everything, for sharing.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Sharina, for everything.
You are so welcome. It's amazing. I love it. It's so love it. Thank you again so much. Gorgeous. I'm gonna meet you.
Awesome.
Love it. I love how she's like now moving. It's just so gorgeous. So guys, again, we're sharing our stories here. The reason I brought these amazing powerhouse women here was to show you what's possible. You know, so many times we're watching a webinar, we're seeing the host, and we're like, we all are doing it. It's not only me. You know, that's why I brought them here. So you guys can see it's not only me, it's Courtney, Jenny, we're living it. We're doing it. We're traveling. Like Jenny is going for 3 weeks holiday or something like that. She told me, right? 3 weeks she's going. And I'm like, before when I was working full time, I would have never imagined to go away for 3 weeks just because. You know? So, and it's just amazing what you're able to do when you start believing it. Again, it starts here. Building that money flow in your business starts here. It really does. So let's go with our steps here, guys. So we spoke about step number 8, which is to market yourself. Step number 9 is setting your business goals. You got to know where your business is going. You know, so many people are like, I just want a business. But it's like, no. What do you want? What do you really want? What's your business desire? What's your intention? What's your goal? You know, we got to have an intention. We got to have a goal with it. How much money do you want to be making? How many people do you want to be supporting? Like, look at Courtney. I think it's a beautiful example. Like, she's so clear. She has a specific goal. She wants to travel the world. Like, she wants to go and visit these places and do events. She has a goal, guys. So specific. You got to have a goal, because when you have a goal to work on, you can work towards it. That's how you create a business with money flow, right? So step number 10, you got to master sales. You know, I feel like so many people, I included in the beginning, I was blocked on sales. When you were to tell me like I had to go sell something, I would be like, oh my God, what do you mean say? Like, what do you mean I need to sell? Like for me, I believe, this is my past belief, my block before, I really felt like if I sell something, you know, I'm forcing someone to buy something. But you really got to understand how this works. You got to understand that really sales is you helping people. You selling is you solving people's problems. For me, I literally changed the term sales in my mind. So for me sharing or selling something or promoting a program, which being a business owner, you got to do, and you got to be comfortable doing it. You know, you got to be squeamish, being like, I don't want to share that I'm doing. No, if nobody knows about your program, guess what? No one's going to join, right? You got to know how to do that. So really taking the mindset, like the negativity around that and the old programming around sales, because so many of us are programmed very negatively and are very scared to put ourselves out there. So we got to know how to put ourselves out there, be unapologetic, you know, putting ourselves out there and really understanding that selling is serving. And guys, what I mean by that, I recently, I am doing a group program, right, called Money Flow Mastery. And recently at the end of it, I'm reaching the end of the promotion, and I was like squeamish. I was like, I don't want to promote this anymore. I'm tired. I'm done. And then I was like, I was in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna stop promoting. Like I'm done with it. I don't want to sell and promote anymore because I was feeling like enough. And I'm sure you guys feel that. For those of you selling, are like, okay, I'm not gonna promote this anymore because you're feeling squeamish, feeling weird. And then I slept and I woke up and something in me was like, Shana, if you don't promote this more, there are women out there who need this and their life will not be changed because you are feeling squeamish. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, that's so true. I got over myself. I did some tapping. By the way, guys, for those of you who are unfamiliar with tapping, what Courtney spoke about, it's a really cool technique that I love to teach and do with my clients. And I highly recommend everyone try it and do it. You can go to Google and put tapping for money tapping, and you can see stuff. And basically, it's a technique that uses, it touches certain meridian points of your body and helps. It's like acupuncture with no needles. And what it does, it shifts energy. So I did some tapping around that. And then after that, I started sharing with people that the program was available and stuff like that. And I got someone on the phone who was interested in the program, and she spoke to me. And she, like, if I would have not promoted, she would have not known about it, right? So when I spoke to her and she was interested, and then suddenly I was like, okay, we spoke about the money, the investment, all of it. And then she started crying. And I'm like, is everything okay? And she came to the call with me very serious and very like, I was kind of intimidated with her because she was like an older lady and stuff. And I was like, huh? And she started crying at the end. And I'm like, what's coming up for you? I started asking her like, hey, what's coming up for you? And she's like, Shana, I've been praying for an opportunity like this. I'm so glad I got that email where you shared about this program. Like, and she started crying. She's like, I was praying for the support. I was praying for this. And I was like, wow. Guys, she signed up, and I think like a few hours after, she received a check of some payment that she was not expecting. And she's like, and she's just starting the program, and she's like, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next few months and weeks, but she's like so excited. So again, with the step number 10 of mastering sales, you gotta be okay with promoting. Because again, if I would have been squeamish and like being like, I don't want to promote anymore, I don't want to share this anymore, her life would have not changed. So when you're selling, you're not selling or forcing anybody anything. You're really giving people opportunities. You're solving people's problems. So you promoting yourself, you sharing what you have to offer, your package, your coaching, your service, whatever it is, guess what? There are people out there who need it. And this is why the sales piece, you got to do the steps before first. You got to get clear on the target market, the community, all of that. Because, and guys, if you notice there's an order to the steps. There's an order I'm doing it. There's a reason why. Because when you have your community, it's like, let's give you guys an example. If you're selling organic apples, and your person, your ideal client is people who like healthy food and eat organic, and you build a community, an email list, or Facebook group, or whatever it is, of people who love organic food. If you have organic apples, wouldn't it be of service to tell them, hey guys, I know you guys love organic stuff and you guys are so into it. I'm selling organic apples. You guys want some? Like, wouldn't that be of service to them? Because you're going to solve their issue because they want organic apples. You know what I mean? So obviously what happens in the sales piece is that we're trying to sell something to someone who's not the ideal client, who doesn't really have the issue that we're trying to solve. And that's where I feel like many of the blocks on sales come from, and we feel like, but why? It's not about forcing anything. I truly believe when you have something, again, to offer that people want, why are they not going to take you up on that offer, right? Like the organic apple example. You're selling organic apple, like people who want organic apple, guess what? They want it. They want it. They desire it. You posting it, you promoting it, you selling it to them. They want it. It's going to change their lives because they really want organic apples, So very important. So step number 11, guys, and this is a very important one, is learning to manage your money. If you're really going to create a business that has flow every single month, because many people, like, I've noticed, at least in the industry, right, at least in the coaching industry, in the service-based industry, we're making a lot of money 1 month, and this was me. In the beginning, right, I told you about my 12 came out, my 5 came out. I was making money, but then the next month I was like not making, or I spent it all, and I was not managing it correctly, and then I had a team, and I was like, oh my God, now I need to manage, create money for this, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? So really learning to manage your money will really, really pay dividends. Like, you will build a business that has the flow every single month. You're not stressed about what's going on. You learn how to manage. You're learning. You know how to really manage the money. It's so crucial. And I recently, right, just like a few months ago, I started putting more importance to this piece, and I've seen the power it has. Like I've seen, and I've made the mistakes. Again, I've made the mistakes, so now when I teach this, right, and I share with my clients how to do this, I am teaching from experience because I've done the mistakes. I've seen people come to me saying like, oh my God, I made 5K, but this month I have no money to pay my assistant. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're having to like declare bankruptcy. And you got to know how to manage it, because what happens is that when we don't manage money well, we can freak out about money very fast. What do I mean by that? If let's say you have a 12K month, you don't manage it well, it's gone, and you're like, oh my God, that freak out in that moment. If you do not know how to manage your mind and you haven't cleared your blocks, you can freak out and be like, oh my God, how am I gonna make money for next month or next bill and stuff like that. So learning to managing it with clearing your blocks is so important. It'll help you be in that flow. Because guess what, guys? If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, if you're an employee, or if you are an entrepreneur, you guys know, like, it's a different mindset. For me, that was the hardest thing. It was the most challenging thing, going from knowing every 15 and every 30 I was getting paid to not knowing, to really sincerely not knowing when the next paycheck is going to come. And guess what? Today, I still don't know when the next paycheck is going to come. You know what I mean? So being an entrepreneur, like, you organize, you plan, you do it, but you got to be okay with it. You got to be okay. And part of it as an entrepreneur, you got to be really, really good at managing your money. And recently, I did like a research project, which was a summit. I did a money flow summit. I interviewed 35 amazing experts, Jenny included, and literally almost all of them mentioned how important it was to learn how to manage money, and how they feel like if that was something that they knew in the beginning. And these are women who are making 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, seven figures each year. And they're like, if I would have had someone tell me that something in the beginning, it would have been that, like, knowing how to manage my money, like, really, really the importance of that. It's so important. So that's step number 11, guys. And step number 12 is having your systems and structures in place. We're building businesses many times to create flow. For many of us, the flow means freedom. And actually, I'm curious to know, guys, when I say money flow to you, what does money flow mean? Go in the chat box and share with me. I'm curious to know for you, what does money flow mean? Kiana, Lisa, all of you guys here, what does money flow mean to you? Lei, Kiana, Meredith, Kiara, Stephanie, Jennifer, Hillary, Aditi, Donna, and all of you guys here joining us. What does money flow mean to you? And I'm curious to know, because many times for us, money flow could also mean freedom, right? So we really want freedom, and we want a business that creates freedom for us. We gotta make sure we have the structures and system in place. When I was traveling the world and doing these things, and like every 3 months in different country, living in different countries like every 3 months, I had systems in place. I had a team in place. I had structures in place that were helping me make the money that flow every single month. It was flowing. You know what I mean? So having that is so crucial and so important. Okay. So guys, let me summarize the 12 steps. My team's so amazing. They're actually giving you guys as well, like, each step. They're so amazing. So say thanks to my team. They're so on top of it. So number 1, guys, understanding money. Number 2, getting clear on your target market. Number 3, clearing your money box. Number 4, building your community. Number 5, learning how to create and manifest money. Step number 6, creating compelling packages, right? Step number 7, reprogramming your money mindset to a positive one. Step number 8, learning how to market yourself. Step number 9, setting business goals, like learning how to set business goals. Step number 10, mastering sales, learning to be okay with it and doing it, you know what I mean? And step number 11, learning to manage money. And step number 12, having systems and structures in place so you can have a business that creates freedom for you. So Lei, I hope I'm saying your name right, means, money flow means to me in and out with ease. Exactly. Today in my Money Flow Mastery program, one of the girls was saying how the biggest thing that she's gotten from it was being okay with money going in and out. Because so many times we feel money needs to come in, but honestly, guys, my biggest block was money going out. I used to freak out before spending money, even though I had the money. It was my biggest block. But being okay with that flow, the ebb and flow, because guess what? It has to circulate. And you cannot be like, you cannot be wanting it to come in and not going on. It has to have a flow. You know, ideally the flow is where it stays more, you know, it collects and it grows with you as well. So awesome. Lee, thank you. Okay, so that's how you say your name. Thank you. So Lisa, her definition of money flow, incoming and outgoing revenue that is powerful force in creating forward momentum in your personal finances or business investments. I love that definition, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing. Kiana, money flow to me means not having to worry about money ending up in my account or mailbox, which will then translate to me being able to afford the lifestyle I want. Exactly. I love that too. Like, it's really about having that, right? Being able to create that business, build that business that creates this. Exactly, you can't hoard it, Lee. You cannot. So guys, if you guys have any questions, right, for me, for Jenny, for Courtney here, take a moment and ask your questions in the chat box. We're going to be here for a few minutes more, and I do have something I want to share with you. Because for those of you who are ready, you know, for those of you who are like listening to this, listening to the ladies here, the experts here we have, and taking notes on these steps, and you feel like you're ready to create this flow, and you know that you're missing something, or you know like maybe you need that little push, or you need that step-to-step plan for yourself, I have something really amazing to offer you guys, okay? I'm going to be gifting you guys only a limited amount of this, a complimentary money flow session with me. That's a session with me. It's a private session with me. And usually, guys, I do not do this anymore. Usually a session with me privately is almost $500, which, by the way, I do not sell as a single session. If you want to work with me, my programs start from 10K and above in my programs. And the reason, guys, I'm doing this because so many times we need that push, or we need that personalized support or that personalized action step and plan. So if you're looking for that, you take advantage and sign up for this amazing offer and gift I want to give you. And again, there's going to be only limited spots available because obviously it's my time and I cannot give more than I have available. But you guys can go to www.shareenamendi.com/assessment, ASSESSMENT, and apply and schedule a time there. I actually opened sometimes like tomorrow and Friday and Monday for you guys. So it'll be really good for you guys. So if you're feeling called, again, if you're feeling called, you're ready to build that business, you're looking for that feedback, I highly, highly encourage you to check out that gift and really take advantage because, again, I do not sell single sessions anymore. You know, to work with me privately, it has to be in a package, and my packages go from 10K and above. So this is a really cool opportunity for you. Again, I'm doing this for you because I know sometimes we need that, okay? Because, again, you came here for a reason, right? So if you're feeling called to this opportunity, I highly encourage you to apply. So let's see your questions. Thank you, team. So Lee, what's your best advice for learning how to align with how much you charge and charging a fair amount? Lee, this is a great question. I think Jenny is the perfect person to answer it, but I'm gonna give you my answer too. So before I unmute her, so for me, honestly, you gotta charge what feels good to you. Like, I don't think there's a science to, like, if you're made this much, like, it's really, as I think Jenny said it so well when she spoke, it's about the frequency. You know, the best advice I can give you is charge what feels good to you, what's in your frequency. And a fair amount, that's very, like, it's relative, because what could be a fair amount for you could not be a fair amount for someone else. You know what I mean? So, because we're all in different frequencies too, and you gotta charge, again, what's in your frequency, right? What that package is. So I think Jenny might say the same thing because it's her teaching. But Jenny, I'm going to unmute your line so you can share as well. If you don't mind unmuting your line so you can share as well with everyone, what do you recommend in this case?
Yep. So I recommend, so you can do this on your own actually. Obviously, if you've got like a business coach available to you, then, you know, run it by them, because I always think that, you know, there's so much work you can do on your own, but you can't always see your blind spot, and, you know, that's where coaching could support you. So if if you have that available, definitely ask your coach. And if you're doing this on your own, fill into the numbers. So like if you say start at 1,000, let's say, for some package, you say 1,000. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like, not that excited, like I'm not that excited about selling this, right? Then it's like, well, then you're not going to sell it, right? So because it's maybe too low. So then maybe I always like increase by 500. So like then I'm sure I've done this with you as well, right? Like
Yeah.
and then say, so how does 1500 sound? Like how does it feel in your body? And it sounds like it feels more exciting. So you know you're going the right way, but I still don't feel that excited about it. Then that's still too low. Then we might go to like, so how does 3000 sound? And at that, you know, wherever you are, it could be like for this package, it could be that, oh my gosh, like nobody's gonna buy it, or you know, like who's gonna buy it, like, and then you might even go into a bit of overwhelm or meltdown, like then that's maybe too high, maybe you're overreaching, you know, oh great, or like, you know, and maybe we go to 10,000, and then your response could be, I don't know, what's a good one that I've heard before, that would be great, but I don't think it could happen for me, right? Then it's like, all right, maybe not charge 10,000 yet, right? Because the thing is, you know you'll get there, or you know, if 10,000 is the goal, you know you'll get there anyway. So what's the rush, right? And actually, I like, so bring it down. So maybe if 3,000 feels a bit too large, maybe go down to 2,500, and you might feel like, actually, this feels pretty good, like, you know, and it doesn't have to be like mind blowing. I find like usually it's just like, oh yeah, this feels all right, and I feel comfortable charging this. I feel like people would buy it, and it's not like a oh my gosh, like mind-blowing moment, but it feels like, you know, really grounding, and I think that's what we're going for. And you want something that like feels doable, feels possible, and doesn't feel like it will take a miracle for someone to buy this from me. So you kind of just want something that feels really supportive to you. And then, you know, so maybe 2,500 is the number, but then you can try playing around with it. Like, okay, so what about 2,200? 2,000, you know, like, or 2,000. And then, yeah, so you just feel like, oh, am I contracting? Like, oh, I don't like it. Or am I expanding? But so you kind of like just feel into it. It's quite like it's a process. Definitely there's no like, you know, answer like that, but it's like a process you take yourself through, and then you know, and then feel like, all right, this is pretty fair for now. And it's great because I think like when you're in your own business, you could always change your you know, your pricing, but my philosophy is just charge where you're at, because if you're charging where you're at, you're gonna get booked really quickly, which is going to increase your confidence a lot. And then which will allow you to then go to the next level so much faster than if you try to like go for the next level and then like try to like work on yourself there. So I always say like, you know, it's fine, like just maybe, you know, go for something that feels possible, easy, and then charge that, maybe sell 3, like, and then go to the next one, because that feels a lot more easier. You feel more confident than if you sold 1 every 6 months at a high number, and you know, which doesn't really grow your confidence that much. So usually I would say that's my response. Let me know what you think, and let me know if that answers your question.
Yeah, Lee, let us know if that answers your question. Courtney, would you like to add something around that question? And guys, anybody else has a question, make sure you ask. We are here for you. So Courtney, do you want to answer? Do you want to add something to that? I think she needs to unmute herself. There she is.
Okay, I'm unmuted. No, I think a lot of people think too much into raising their price. Like, they're so ready to raise their price that they're not even ready to like bring the money in. They're like, well, when should I raise my price? Like, when should I make more money? And then it's kind of like what you ladies are saying. Well, then you're probably not comfortable with the price you're charging in the first place, which is why you're not getting anywhere with it. It's either too low or it's super, super high. And the other thing is that just because a price is low doesn't mean that someone's going to buy it, because they, like you had talked about, like it's all about like the value and their perception of value. So if somebody's thinking like, well, actually that's all it is, like that almost seems like too good to be true, you still don't get anybody coming in. And if you do, it might not be your ideal client or someone that's in alignment with you. And then you're wondering, even though you might have made that like quick cash, because it's going to be coming in faster because you charge a less amount, you're not going to be living any better, because you're going to be stressed out with clients that are going to be draining because they don't align with you. So I always say make sure that the people that you're actually offering your services to, they understand why they're paying the price that they are, and don't be afraid to wait on the price you know that is your value. So
I love that. That is brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. That's so true. It's again the alignment piece. I think that's coming up a lot about being in flow. It's really about being in alignment with your prices, with your business, with all of it. So thank you so much, Courtney, for sharing that. I think it's cool. Awesomely, I'm glad we answered your question. Anybody else has a question? Is there anything else you would like to add, Courtney, to this conversation around money flow and business?
No, I just think that once you lose your fear of money, and I think that anybody watching, you really have to lose your fear of money, because even though you might be saying the right things and you might be saying what you think your coach wants to hear, you might be saying what you think your friends want to hear, you might be saying what you think your clients want you to hear, you know deep down if you really have that fear of money, and you know deep down if there's a reason why. Maybe you don't know the pinpoint a reason, but you know there's a reason why the money isn't coming in. Because the first thing that slips into your head isn't like, what am I going to go do with this money that I'm making? The first thing that slips into your head is, this is why I can't make the money, because we're so attached to the why and that kind of thing. But you have to really be honest with yourself. Like, is the reason I'm not making money because I'm not in the right avenue, or is the reason I'm not making money because I'm scared to make the money that I know that I deserve? Like, that's what you need to think about when it comes to money. I know for me that was like my holding block. It was like, well, duh, why can't I make the money? Like, it was all mental. There was nothing wrong with my skill set. It was all mental. So that's what you need to do with money flow, for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love it. It's true. It's true. It's like getting over that thing in the mind. It's so crazy, but it's all here. It's getting over it. That's it. Awesome, Courtney. Thank you so much. This is great. So guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this this webinar. Make sure you watch it again. You know, for those of you joining live, I highly recommend you watch this again. It's going to be available for a few more days, and share it with your friends too. You know, because I think it's so important. Part of being in the flow is sharing. You know, being in that abundance and that flow. So I always say, like, if you want to make money and if you want to, you know, build your business, help others do that too. It's the fastest way to it. You know, when you share what's helping you, what's worked for you, sharing it with other people, that's a really, really cool thing to do as well. It's going to help you. I see this all the time. Whenever I share something, that a book, you know, that really changed my life, or something that really helped me, I see it's the law. It's the universe. It's amazing. So awesomely, I'm glad it worked out. It's true. It's sometimes all inside. So again, guys, for those of you who are in this webinar, I have an amazing gift to offer to give you guys, because again, part of it, you might be doing your business. I mean, it depends where you're at, and you might be like, something's stopping me. I'm not sure what it is. You know, I highly recommend, if you're feeling that, sign up for the free call, the Money Flow session I'm giving away. And the reason is because sometimes we cannot see our own blind spots, right? They said it, like, sometimes we need to go to speak to someone who could help us see what we're not seeing. Like Courtney, Jenny, I myself, we have our own coaches, and we know the power of that. Like we know the power in investing in that. And the reason of it, because we've seen what it's done to us, and we believe so much in it, which I think also is a big part of it. If you are providing a service, you got to believe in your service. You got to believe in your word. And the interesting piece about the worthy piece, and about feeling good about what you're charging, and about all these pieces about the money and all, many times we tend to confuse like our self-worth with our net worth. So many times when we're not making money, and this was me, right? I'm sharing with you from my own experience. When I was not making the money, I was making less than, you know, $1,200, $1,300 a month. It's what I felt super unworthy. I felt not a good coach. I felt like I should charge $0. I felt like I wasn't worth it, right? So when you realize that your worth, your self-worth is not the same thing as your net worth, it makes a big, big difference. So again, guys, for those of you who are ready, and again, you guys are here for a reason, right? For those of you who are ready to build that business, create that flow, and ready to figure out what's holding you back, and really create a plan to overcome it, I highly, highly encourage and recommend you to check out the gift I have for you. There are going to be only limited spots on it, so you can go to www.shareenamind.com/assessment for it and grab a slot. It's a quick application. It's literally 2 minutes, guys, and you can schedule it right away. So I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys, for those of you who are feeling called to do so. And again, it's been such a pleasure being here with you guys, being with Jenny, Courtney, who are amazing women. Go check them out too. Their websites are in the chat room. Go check them out, because again, we use us as your inspiration, as your example. Like if Jenny was able to do it, Courtney and I, of course you are going to be this too. And there's a reason, like if you attracted us three in your life, like we're a mirror to you to just show you what's in you already. You know, I believe that. I truly believe. Like I called in Jenny in my life when I worked with her, before working with her, she came into my life, and obviously through social media and Facebook, but it was like she was showing me what was possible for me, and it was just so beautiful. So totally go check them out. So awesome, guys. Jenny, do you want to say something before we leave and shut the webinar?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I love all your tips, and obviously do something with it, right? Like take one action today. That would be my takeaway is, I know you've been here, so just commit to doing one thing, whether it's signing up for the assessment, or whatever that is for you. Tune in, check in, and commit to doing one thing that you take away from the webinar today.
I love it. Gorgeous, because it has to meet with action. And many times when we say we get excited in webinars and we don't do anything about it, our mind thinks we're lying, right? And we tend to be in this downward spiral. So totally, I love that, Jenny. Thank you. Take action, guys. Whatever action will lead you to, listen in and take that. So awesome, Jenny. Thank you again so much for being here. Courtney, too. Love you guys so much. All of you guys who've attended this webinar today, sending you guys lots of love. Go back and take that action, and I will be seeing you hopefully or speaking to you very, very soon. Take care now. Bye.